Redheads. Redheads.
So sick. So sick.
Redheads. Welcome to Redheads, your West Coast-based Liverpool Football Club podcast. We are back from a little mini winter hiatus, a little holiday break. I'm your co-host, Ian Locke, joined as always by my fellow co-host, James Morris. James, Happy New Year to you, 2026.
Happy New Year, Ian.
It looks great on you.
It doesn't feel great. You know, it's raining, it's pouring.
Right.
Liverpool is boring.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hear an old man snoring over there, too.
You know, I was thinking, first of all, I just thought of that line, of course, after the game. It is raining in sunny Southern California, but I was also thinking that song is pretty dark for a kid's song.
It's rain.
He went to bed and bumped his head and couldn't get up in the morning.
Because he's dead. Is that the idea?
What? Yeah, I mean, your
no one
interpretation
checked on the old man.
Yeah.
And as far as we know, the old man sleeps alone. He's a single old man living alone, and that's the dangers of being single in your old age. Is you could fall, you could bump your head, no one checks on you.
You couldn't get up in the morning.
Exactly. Wow.
So, that said,
yes.
Look, it was a wonderful little winter hiatus that we took. You and I actually, a little behind the scenes, we hung out in person, flirted with the idea of doing an in-person podcast. Didn't do it. Happy that we didn't do it. But it was my idea to have a New Year's Day post-match, I thought, triumphant reaction podcast.
You thought we were going to go into the new year with our heads held high.
With 4 wins on the spin.
Right. Little did you know that I guess everyone celebrated a little too hard last night because it was a drab game, and we will get into it. But I do want to talk about the previous 2 games since we did take this hiatus.
Yeah,
James, we went into this new year on a pretty good run.
Yeah,
3 games unbeaten in the league, 5 games unbeaten, with one of those being in Europe. But then 3 wins in a row. One against Brighton, which we talked about, the Spurs game, and then Wolves. So, not bad for a team that was in complete crisis. We were slowly creeping our way up the table.
Right, building a little
creeping
confidence.
Our way to, yes, exactly. And we go to Spurs. This is the first game after Brighton. Go to Spurs away, which is a tough stadium to play at. I think we played this fixture last year, and that was the classic, kind of felt like a heavy metal game. Very back and forth. Did it end up being like 5-3 or something like that last year?
I think it was 6-3.
6-3? Yeah.
6-3,
so
and I miss Ange. I miss Ange desperately.
I do too.
So much fun to play him.
It was amazing. This game was entertaining, I would say. We can now say that Isak has another goal in the league, albeit he is now out of this. He's probably out for at least a few months. Katika has another goal. We looked good until, I feel like this is the story of the season, wherein the other team scores, and then we kind of forget how to play, and it's very nerve-wracking, and that's exactly what happened in this game.
Well, even before they scored, it was just the other team. First of all, they were down to 10 men.
Definitely. We'll talk about that.
Xavi Simon's red card was deserved, I guess. Was
it a stamp on the ankle or the foot? It was something a little...
Yeah, and it was so late and so unnecessary. It was just really odd. I didn't understand the thought process. I don't think Xavi Simons understood his thought process. I don't think he meant anything sort of nefarious when he did it.
But, it was pretty early. It was like,
the 33rd
minute.
Yeah, and it completely changed the complexion of the game. I mean, up to that point, it's not that they were playing well, really, but it was a pretty even and uneventful half an hour. And then, he gets the red card, and, that from then on, it's just Liverpool's in the driver's seat until, like you said, they get a corner, and sort of Liverpool's corner form ensues.
Right.
But like you're saying, talking about Spurs, It was a beautiful finish from Isak. It was a Verts assist. It's what we dreamt
It
up
was
in the summer.
it was the combination that everyone was hoping to see. Everyone was hoping this was going to be like the 20th time they've seen this instead of essentially the first time. But it was a
Right.
brilliant assist from Beer. It's kind of like a through ball, beautiful like through the needle into Isak, tucks it away, and he gets tackled by Vanderven, I think was the center back, who just
Yeah.
lays right into him.
Mickey
And
Longlegs.
immediately, that's right. And you can immediately see Isak just like, like writhing around, calling for help. And when you see the replay, and especially in slow motion, it looks pretty bad. And he ended up
It's horrible.
breaking his leg, I think.
Yeah, he broke his leg.
His ankle or his leg.
He's already had surgery.
Yeah, so he's already had surgery. It was a success. So hopefully the timeline is that he will be back this season. But it kind of just felt like our luck, you know? You get
100%.
your star striker gets his goal, an assist from your star midfielder, the link up that, like you said, you've been dreaming to see. And then he immediately gets injured on that goal. And he also came on. He came on for Bradley, who got injured. So he came on as a substitute and had to immediately be substituted off. So that was just really frustrating. And it kind of, we're already down, a lot of attacking players. Mo Salah is gone at AFCON. Chiesa is not really utilized. So now we're down an attacking option. And I think, again, talking about the next two games, you can kind of see how that affected the team in terms of just minutes being played by everyone. But yeah, a big disappointment on that end.
Yeah, the groundwork for today's dour 0-0 was laid with the Isak injury. We just, like you're saying, there's just no rotation options. We have essentially four first team attacking options: Gakpo, Salah, Isak, Ekitike. Gakpo's back now. He played half an hour today, but Gakpo's been out.
Yeah.
Obviously Salah's at AFCON. So and then Isak breaks his leg. So we have one first team attacking player. And
we have Chiesa and then like a 17-year-old who, didn't anticipate relying on him heavily this season. But so that was annoying. But then we get another goal too in the second half. 66-minute Ekitike, man. He's on fire. This is the guy that the swagger is unbelievable. He's very, very good.
The celebration was unbelievable. Do you recall that he almost pants himself?
Yeah, he's bringing back the sag.
He's bringing back the sag, the sag and the swag, like you're saying.
That's right.
Did you see he posted after the game an image of, was it it was the other guy who got sent off. What's his name? I'm blanking on the Spurs defender's name. Romero, yeah. And he's like, he's the way he's like flopping forward as
Ekitike. Very, very funny.
Yeah.
He's definitely he's online in a good way too. He has his little burner Instagram account. He's very funny. And yeah, like I said, he has the swagger and the ability to back it up. But the assist from Frimpong, so he comes on for Isak. James, Frimpong is very fast. I'm starting to like him more and more. I see him. He puts in the cross for the Ekitike header. Beautiful header into the box. Scores.
And off the post.
Sags his pants. Off the post. And I think this is a good indicator of like Frimpong using his speed to stop. He's like very good at stopping and then running at full pace with the ball, which is just an attribute that I think we're losing with Mo Salah just at his age.
Yeah.
And you can see that now too with Frimpong kind of being more of a right-sided winger instead of a fullback, which we kind of thought he was going to be. But just an awesome assist from him, and good to see him link up with. It's nice to see the new signings link up, kind of have a rhythm, kind of an understanding of each other. And it was good to see a striker in the box, which is something that we have not seen a lot of.
Those two goals, it was Verts Isak, 2 new signings. Then it was Frimpong Ekitike, 2 new signings. It was, like you're saying, or like we've already said, it was what we dreamt of in the summer. And yeah, Frimpong, I sort of wish he was doing it from fullback instead of right wing. Although I guess we also talked about, and this has sort of been the idea for a while, Frimpong might deputize for Salah while he's in AFCON, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
But something that I thought was really interesting then, Frimpong comes on and Sabasai plays right back. Frimpong plays right wing. And we've seen that a couple times. Basically, he's seen more by slot as an attacking option than as a fullback, which
I think,
is
yeah,
interesting.
I think it's good though because it helps at least put the pressure on the Tottenham backline, and also like it kind of helps like pen those players back, And he has the speed to where if they try to pass out of a press from Liverpool, he can use his speed to catch up and like
Yeah,
kind of counter press, I
he's got
guess.
that recovery
So I
pace.
kind of get that in that sense, is just like keep putting the pressure on Tottenham or at the opposing team by
Yep,
having a player of that like speed up there. So I guess it makes sense from that perspective. And also, we just know that Dominic can kind of play wherever, and he's solid at a right
right.
back,
And
and
he'll
he
be
doesn't
a
have the
star.
speed in comparison. Yeah,
Well, yeah, I mean, the team just desperately lacks pace, and Frimpong has it in spades.
absolutely.
And so when he comes on, it completely changes the outlook of the team.
What do you think of weird? Because he was kind of Florian was kind of playing on the left. It kind of seemed like was like a 4-2-3-1 with McAllister and Wirtz kind of. I think Wirtz was definitely playing more on the left hand side, but he would. It's kind of what we've seen all season, where he kind of can just float wherever and kind of
Yeah,
pick up
yeah,
spots wherever, and that's where he got the assist from the left hand side for Isak. But I think he's been growing. I think he looks solid. I mean, obviously he's a very expensive player, very highly regarded. But I think now we're seeing him growing into this team more, and kind of him being able to gel in, basically in his role, which is good. You know,
yeah. No, it's great. He had his best two games, I would say, against Spurs and then against Wolves, which we'll come to talk about. But like you said, he's playing on the left as opposed to through the middle. McAllister has been sort of nominally through the middle, but like you said, he floats sort of from the left into the center. Sometimes he picks up the ball on the right side. Um, I think that it's sort of working. It's sort of a needs must situation, really. We
right?
don't have Gakpo's been out. I know he's just now coming back. Gakpo's also just not been working very well, and so it's just who's left to play on the left, who's remaining to play on the left, and I
Right.
think the answer is Curtis Jones and Verts, and we can't afford to play Jones on the left because we just need that stability in midfield, and so Verts gets stuck out there. Uh, but yeah, he's given the license to roam, and he's been just growing into the team, growing into the league.
Yeah.
Gets his first assist, and then the next match gets his first goal. It's been exciting. He's been looking like the player that we wanted to sign for what was it, like 118 million, some ridiculous
Right.
number, the British transfer record that we broke, days later.
Yeah. And speaking of Jones too, he looks really. Him and Gravenberch as a pairing look really, really good. You basically have two players who are very confident on the ball and
Yep.
have like really good ability to kind of just like wriggle out of any challenge with the ball on hand too, which is just like it's nice to have one, but when you have two, um, it's just fun to watch. Like they're able to basically kind of like egg on opposing players when they have the ball, and then just kind of juke past them and carry the ball forward. So that's been really good to see. I've been very impressed with Jones these last few games too, and I think that we've you know come to accept that he'll have a pretty good run in the game, a good run in the team, uh, inevitably get injured and then be out. So while we have him, I think
Yep.
I think he's like truly like shown his worth, I think.
Yeah. Enjoy him while he's here. You're right. He's done this before. I think I want to say like the end of the 23-24 season, Klopp's last season, same thing. There was an
Yeah.
injury. Maybe this is 22-23. But either way, if memory serves, like he gets a run, he looks great, and then he gets hurt. Hopefully that won't happen this year. But while he's in the team, you're right. He's so much fun to watch. He's sort of like talking about Ekatike swagger. Jones is the same. He's almost like arrogant on the ball. Like you're
Right.
saying, he baits a player in, then he does like 3 craft turns, which is more than necessary. And then
Right. One too
keeps
many.
possession, beats the man, finds the pass. It's just fun to watch. Like you want to see people do exciting things on the ball.
Right.
In
It
in
is fun
in
to watch,
short,
and it is fun to watch, and then also makes you kind of like crap your pants in the
Yeah.
same breath too, because you're like, oh my god, get rid of it. But let's get to this Richarlison goal, because this is where, like, truly from that moment to the end of the game, I've never seen Liverpool play probably worse in like a 20-minute spell. And then also, I think this is when, let's see, because when does Romero get sent off?
It was
At
like
the
the
end of the game. But
93rd minute. Yep.
yeah, I think you're right. But so like we said earlier, Xavi Simons gets sent off 33rd minute. We scored 2 goals kind of early in the second half. And then Richarlison pegs one back off what, James?
Off a corner.
Corner kick.
Off a
A
corner.
corner kick. It has been foretold. The I was trying to think of the prophecy has foretold that Liverpool will give up a goal by
From
a set piece, and from a set piece. It was one of those things where both your center backs kind of like lose the ball in the air. I don't think it went on Van Dijk, but I think he was kind of the main culprit in this scenario, where I don't remember if he like threw out a leg and it just missed it completely.
Yeah, he like flicks up the ball as it bounces past him.
Right, except it falls to Richarlison, who's able to just shoot it into the back of the net. And then he then proceeds to, I think Dominic Szoboszlai is down, and he like chokes him on the ground. I think he has a run in with like, it was Ekitike? Okay.
Yeah.
He had like a run in with like 3 different Liverpool players, and it was like very funny to see him. There's like a video of a player who does like 4 different celebrations at once after they score it. This is kind of the same thing, but he's like trying to get in a fight with 4 different Liverpool players. He's just a complete asshole, and I really just don't like him, anything about him. And he scores, because of course he does.
He also he always scores against us. He
always scores against
a brilliant record against us. It's so infuriating. Speaking of his 7 celebration, he didn't do this one. He does like the pigeon. Well, I think that his nickname is the pigeon. And it's just infuriating to watch.
It's just no good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's not what you want. And then of course we are away from home, so the Spurs crowd like really gets up for this, because it's not like, the Leeds game was a few weeks ago where we gave up, was it a 4-4? Was it, did it end up being 4-4?
3-3.
Something like that? Anyway.
Yeah.
3-3. So we are not susceptible, or we are susceptible to a late goal. And they have so many chances. They actually end up having the higher expected goal ratio. They have 15 shots total compared to our 8, and I think a majority of those come in that last like 20-minute spell. But then Romero ends up getting a red card. He gets a second yellow, rather. And he's just he basically like kicks Konate, kind of just dumb. He seems like just as brain dead as he would make me crazy if he was my captain, because he just does silly things like this all the time.
Yeah, thank God he's not a Liverpool player. I mean, when you watch the replay, it's sort of a nothing foul. They sort of bump heads. They don't bump heads. They just bump into each other, Konate and Romero. And then on the ground, he just kicks him. I mean, there's really nothing more to say about it. He gets a second yellow, like you're saying, but that was a red all day. I don't know why. I guess
second yellow.
They give him a second yellow. They sent him off, so the VAR just didn't get involved. But it was wild. It was much, much worse, sort of behaviorally speaking, than Xavi Simons' red card in the 30th. It was just pure petulance. And like you're saying, they're so on top. I think that, what did they have? 9 minutes of extra time, added time. And this is in
11.
The 93rd. 11 minutes. There you go.
Yeah.
If he doesn't do that, I think that they equalize and we draw that game. But then it becomes 11 versus 9.
And that's like the most indicting thing of this Liverpool team so far, is that we just can't. There's just no structure. And again, what is that? 7 minutes with 9 against 9 players. You should just be able to hold on to the ball, But instead we keep, like, I think they have a chance at the very end, where Brennan Johnson could have scored if it wasn't for Alisson. And it's just we just lack control in like any sense
we just
of the
panic.
word. Yeah, it's always panic stations when it really doesn't need to be. And again, I do understand that it's away and that the momentum is with Tottenham, but we have a 2-man advantage, and I would argue we're the better team. And I think also we could talk. This could be a discussion about just like the legs and the fitness of the team too, because I think this has been the case for these last few games where we kind of look burnt out around like 65 to 70 minutes.
Yep.
Where we just kind of like no one, like especially Ekitike, he looks gassed a lot. But we end up holding on to the win, and I think the consensus was it was not convincing. It was not a convincing win at all. It should have probably just been 2-0. But again, thanks to silly mistakes at the back. I would say besides that, I would say our defense has been solid.
Yeah, it's just the set piece problem right now.
But it's just the set piece problem, which we'll get into too, because the person in charge of that is no longer with the team.
Yep. He got the axe.
Do you have anything else you want to say, or do you want to go on to Wolves?
Let's talk Wolves.
Okay. James, this is the worst team in the league.
The worst team in Premier League history.
In Premier League history, they are now, I think when we played them, they were sitting on 2 points. They now have 3. They have not won a game. They have a goal difference of negative 29. They have drawn 3, lost 16. And I would say we got away with a 2-1 victory at home to Wolves. And again, a little shameful.
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, this one's at home. There's really no excuse for just how poor we looked again after the 60th minute.
Yeah.
But before that, we get, Verts. He went to Barclays. That's a bank, I think. And he finally opens his account.
Nice.
Actually before that, he played he was on the right. I mean, like you were saying, and like we have said, he was on the left nominally, but he picks up the ball on the right side, kind of in the Trent position, and plays an incredible pass through to Ekitike in like the 25th minute.
Amazing.
And that was, again, like we're talking about the Verts to Isak pass. That was the plan. This, like, Trent's gone. We need new progressive passing. We want it from someone who wasn't the right back, and we got exactly what we were looking for with this like incredible 60-yard, perfectly weighted pass through to Ekitike. He doesn't score. He hits the post.
Yes.
It was actually a really brilliant shot. It was 1-on-2. He was by himself, 2 defenders and the keeper to beat. He beats them all. Doesn't beat the post.
Again, it's another like luck thing too, where like if that went in, who's to, because we scored 2 goals, kind of one after another. So I don't know if this third goal would have changed anything. But I don't know. It could have been a confidence builder. But it's like those little things where I would like to know how many times we've hit the post this season, because it feels like a lot.
Well, it's twice in that game. McAllister hits the post as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. But we do score, James, and we score in the first half. And I think this is, again, another pattern where we look pretty good in the first 45, because I think we use all of our energy in the first 45. But Jeremy Frimpong, again, man, I said this before, I'll say it again. He's fast.
Say it 3 times. He's so fast.
I'll say it one more.
He stands up that defender. He gets to the byline.
He gets fast too.
Yeah, there you go. Pulls it back for
Gravenberch. Hammerspark.
Yep.
That hasn't caught on as much as I thought it was
hasn't caught on.
to.
I thought that it was pretty good when I came up with it. When I say I came up with it, I mean that I misheard someone else say it.
It doesn't rhyme with like Gravenberch or anything, so it kind of feels like just a throwaway, but it sounds cool.
I mean, it's not a throwaway for me. It's from my heart to his spark. He's on what now? I think that's 3 goals in the league. And he's got at least a goal in Europe.
Goals. He has 4 goals and 2 assists in the Premier League as of right now.
This is a topic for another day, I would say, but he's ultimately just not a number 6. Like, he would be so much more effective, I think, if we signed, a true 6 holding midfielder, and he inherited the McAllister role.
He would look great in a 4-3-3.
That's true.
The 4-2-3-1 doesn't really suit him, because he likes to carry the ball. So yeah, he doesn't have really, I mean, yeah, in that double pivot, in theory, someone should stay back if he carries the ball forward. But yeah, there's no one that's like going to like do the tackling for him and pass him the ball and let him, do the creative work.
He's good around
but
the
he's
box,
also good at
the
that
opposition
too.
Box. Yeah, no, yeah.
He's
when
also
I said that he's not a
yeah.
true holding midfielder, I don't mean to say that he can't do it. I just mean to say that we're sort of we're lassoing him, and uh, I was gonna make a Ted Lasso joke. I'm gonna leave it, but
Yeah, you don't need to do that.
the point is he is just really good offensively, and by playing number 6, he isn't able to impact the game as much as I would like. Um, we'll come on to
Also,
the Leeds game today, but he was the only one I thought that was really building from midfield. Again, not
right.
Jones' best game, but Ryan looked good.
He also has a very keen ability to all of his goals are like just like inch perfect off the post or like in that little like unsavable region. He's very good at that. It's like pinpoint. It's a very, very, very nice to have in the team. Um, and yeah, 4 goals. I don't know if this is the most he scored so far in his Liverpool career. I could look at previous seasons, but
I
I
think
don't know
that
if
it
I'm
is.
going
I
to.
don't think he scored at all
Well,
last season.
he did not. He's tied for the 23-24 season of 4 goals. So he could easily surpass that, and he's good enough to do that. Um, but we should talk about the man, the boy wonder. Wirtz gets his first Liverpool goal. Big deal.
Right. Like I said so clunkily earlier, he opened his account. It was a beautiful finish
What
through the
bank
legs.
what bank does he bank with? Who does he bank with?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's picked with Barclays.
Right,
He's
okay.
a Premier League boy
He's
now.
like
He closed
right.
Allianz. I don't know if that's Allianz Arena is where Bayern plays. I don't
Bank
know
of
if that's actually a
Deutschland.
bank. I'm gonna say that it's an insurance company. Maybe it's a travel agency. To be honest, I have no idea. I haven't been to Germany
Probably
for a
health
long time.
services.
It could be health services. Point is, he doesn't bank there anymore. He's an English
It's a
boy now.
financial services company. It's travel insurance.
It's travel insurance. Well, he got on the plane. He landed in England. It was safe and sound. And his account at Barclays is open. Oh, what a little tangent that we went on. But speaking of tangents, he went on a tangent slaloming run. And before that, Ekatike's run and pass was very Wirtz-like. He beats a
Yeah.
man. Kirkes almost takes the ball off of him. And
So
then he plays a
close.
perfect pass. And
Yeah.
actually, I thought that Wirtz's first touch was a little bit heavy and that he wasn't going to get
Yeah.
there before the keeper.
Same
And then
here. Yeah.
slots it right through his legs. I didn't realize at the time. I thought that he, played around the keeper, but
I was really
he named
nervous it
him.
was just going to go straight to the keeper.
Yeah.
Because he's done that a few times where the ball has just gone straight to him after either like a heavy touch or just like a misplaced shot. But he gets his first goal, so it's kind of like and having that before the end of the year too, I think is a big deal too for him too, so he can kind of close that year behind him and start afresh. Didn't do anything this next game, but
Worst game.
one goal after another. It was
Right, we
I think it was
scored
like
the 40th
60
and the
seconds.
44th, I want to say, or something
Yeah,
like that.
41st, 42nd.
Oh, well.
We go into the
Well,
second
fuck me
half.
then.
It's okay. Don't worry about it. Go into the second half. Classic Liverpool. Just kind of, I feel like we use every ounce of energy in that first half to ensure we have a lead. And the second half is just it's just, for lack of a better word, just like kind of like lackadaisical. Pretty good word, actually.
Yeah, that's you say for lack of a better word. I think that was sort of the perfect word. I mentioned how I was taking a shower and came up with it's raining, it's pouring, Liverpool is boring. The other thing I came up with is Arne Sloth. It's sloth ball.
But yeah,
It's awful to watch.
Okay, we'll talk about this in the Leeds game because I think that's like just the perfect encapsulation of the season. But I in my head I know what's changed from last season to this season in terms of like player outgoings, other things.
Yeah, other
I
things.
just don't understand. I just don't understand. Like, why do we look so slow? Like, why do we insist on being so boring? There just seems to be no impetus by like the players that you want impetus from, like the attack. Like you're saying, like Gravenberch had a great game. It's just him though, and he's in the midfield. Yes, he has the creative components to, push Liverpool up the field, but it's players like Virus, Ekatike, McAllister, Chiesa started this game. Like players like these that you kind of need to have that. Like they're going to be the ones that score you the goals, right? And it just
They're
sometimes it
forwards.
doesn't seem like it's there. And I feel like it just seems to there still seems to be a miscommunication throughout the team through like the defenders, the midfielders to the forwards. Because at
Yeah,
this point, I
it
don't
feels like they don't know where their teammates are going to be. And
right,
we're talking about it being boring, but boring is okay if the plan is we're up 2-0, keep possession. But
right.
what this is the biggest sort of issue I would say right now, besides set pieces, which we'll come on to. Um, like Slot's entire ethos is, keep possession, tactical ability, technical players, short passing, interconnectivity, and
Yeah.
we're up 2-0. We're playing, like you said, the worst team in the Premier League. They've got 2 points from 18 games at this point, or 2 points from 17 at that point. It's the longest run. Well, they've since gone on to go on the longest run of never winning. And we can't keep possession against them. It's not like
And we're at home, which is
yeah,
like
yep,
the most confounding thing too. Because I think in comparison to last year, it is just like we seem to have a better understanding of. Again, I think it's just a better understanding of the players and kind of like where they're going to be in certain situations. Because now it just feels like we'll just like lose the ball carelessly and then have
right.
to be on the defensive, which gives the other team more motivation to attack because they can now see that there seems to be a lack of cohesion without the team or within the team. But yeah, at the end of the day, it just feels like if we mess up, if we give away a corner, then that could mean a goal, and it usually does, and it did for this
And it
in
did
the
for this.
51st minute. There was a corner. Uh, who was João Gomez gets to the ball first. Again, it's the other team getting like winning those first chance balls, those 50-50 balls. The other team gets them first,
Well, they win the
and then
header first,
yeah, win the
and
header.
then Allison makes a great save. Admittedly, he sort of drops the ball directly in front of himself.
Straight to him. Yeah,
Um, but at that point, so they win the header. The João Gomez, is completely by himself. There's not a Liverpool player on the other side of the ball. I don't understand like what the instincts are, what the plan is. The set piece coach after this game gets fired. Harsh way to start the new year for him. There's nobody close to him. I mean,
right.
the expected goals in that shot, I haven't looked it up, the XG, but it must be like 0.99. I mean, there's no way he couldn't have scored.
So, for that particular chance, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But
I don't
yeah,
know. I mean,
go ahead.
they end up having like, I mean, it's a 1.54 goal difference to 1.07. So it's like not like, it's like bare minimum. I'm looking at the fought mob commentary and just looking at like they'll give you like the highlights and there's like,
Yeah.
In like the last 20 minutes, a lot of it is from Wolves. And there's that one chance at the very end. I think it was in the 87th minute. If it wasn't for Bradley, I think Strand Larson pulls away from Konate, puts in a
Of
beautiful
course.
cross to, I forgot who the player was, but if it wasn't for Bradley to intervene, it probably would have ended up 2-2 because this was the
Yep.
87th minute. And it's just stuff like that where we kind of just do feel a little like we don't, feels a little brainless. And even when there's added time, you can hear the away crowd like pumped because it was 5 minutes of stoppage time. And we don't want that, but the other team does because they know that they can pounce on it. They can get something from the game. And it's just it's just annoying to watch. You never feel like you never feel comfortable. Even at 2-0, these last two games, Tottenham and Wolves, you're 2-0 up and you never feel comfortable.
Right. I mean, it's hard to watch when we're winning. It's hard to watch when we're drawing. Certainly hard to watch when we're behind. But the point is, we don't feel like we're going to score ever. Obviously, we did happen to score twice in this game, but we just like in possession, out of possession, in transition, when the other team has the ball, we feel vulnerable and we don't feel like we have any threat.
Yeah, I would love to know what the team talk is at halftime because it's not like Like, I don't know, because you don't really want to change anything, especially for the first half. Like, I wonder if it is just a fitness thing, and it's like, okay, cool off a little bit. Don't use up everything you have because we're gonna need you for the next game. You know what I mean?
So that's the other thing too about this Wolves game. It was the second of 2 games during which we had no midweek game, which is to say
Right.
we had a week off between games, which almost
Right.
never happens. We had 2 games in 14 days. Fitness, look, the bench is weak. Like we already talked about, we have a lot of players are out. Gakpo comes on in the 83rd. But he's been gone. Obviously, Salah's gone. We already said these things. The bench is thin. Trey Neoni comes on for Ekatike at the end. But the point is, these are professional athletes, and they can't.
These are Premier League winners,
right? And they can't run for 90 minutes. It's 2026. It's next year. Like,
I know.
how are we not fit yet? When is that going to happen?
I truly have no idea. And so we ended up winning 2-1. Let's stop talking about this game.
Yeah.
But it wasn't immediately after this game, but this game was when? This was on December 27th.
Yes, on Saturday.
Was it?
Right? Yeah.
3 days later, we ended up firing Aaron Briggs, who is the quote unquote set piece specialist, who I might add was not the job he got hired for. I think he got hired for maybe like player development. And then they ended up putting him as head, like basically in charge of set pieces, both defending and attacking. And then we, end up having the worst record, I think, goal difference in set pieces. It's like negative.
Right.
He gets
9.
fired. -9. He gets fired. I think, like either yesterday or the day before. Yeah, so now it'll be interesting to see how we handle it. I mean, we'll talk about Leeds in a few minutes. We don't score, and we don't give anything away from set pieces. So that's an improvement, I guess. But what do you think about that? Just like, obviously someone had to go, and it was going to be him. But it'll be interesting to see who takes charge, if it's just like an internal thing, if this, like the team set themselves up.
What do I think about the firing / the hiring? Well, so
yeah.
First, I think it's really strange that Liverpool wanted a set-piece coach and couldn't find one. I mean...
well, I also was reading that...
go ahead.
I was reading that Slot wanted, I believe it was the set-piece coach from Feyenoord, who I think he worked with, but due to visa issues, they couldn't get it squared away. So I think there was someone in mind for them initially.
I guess that makes it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But my thought on that is the same way you sign Semenyo, for example, or City signed Semenyo ultimately. You take Brentford set piece coach. You take Leeds set piece coach. I mean, we're the bigger fish. You just hire somebody
take Brentford set piece coach, who is now their head coach.
Yeah,
we should just take him.
Just take him. It just doesn't really make any sense to me. And then, like you said, this guy sort of gets roped into this job, which is not what he was hired to do. Is horrible. Ultimately, whatever he goes on to do in his career, it won't be set piece coaching. I also think that we've mentioned this before. There's not like a coach can't make Konate just not miss the ball
fall on his ass
as it goes.
Right.
Right. Like there's no coaching involved when players are just playing like idiots ultimately.
Right.
So I feel for him a little bit, but look, it's the worst set piece differential in the league, -9, like we said. And that includes Szoboszlai's free kick goal. That counts as a set piece goal technically, but that's really not what we mean when we're talking about goals from free kicks and corners. So it's kind of -10 ultimately. And our goal difference overall is what? +4?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I think it's +4. We didn't score today, obviously.
It is +4, correct? Yeah.
And if you just have an even goal differential from set pieces, it's +14.
That's crazy.
How many points would that be worth? 1, at least 1. Well, at least 2 if you talk about Leeds. the
Right.
3-3, not today, but the 3-3 from mid-December.
Yeah. It's annoying. Let's talk about this Leeds game.
Let's dig in. I'm surprised
Happy
we
New
did
Year.
40 minutes on on Wolves and Tottenham.
Well, we had to catch up. Okay. So we're
Happy New
playing
Year.
Leeds. Happy New Year. Uh, who I kind of have like been building up a pretty good. We obviously had the 3-3 draw, and they drew to Brentford, beat Crystal Palace, drew to Sunderland. So they've kind of been on an unbeaten run of on their own. They've actually been unbeaten since December 3rd. So pretty much all of December.
Is
Pretty
that the
solid.
City game?
No, they lost to City. They ended up beating Chelsea on December 3rd. So it was the 3-1 game where
So the last loss is City. But even that game,
right.
they I think it was
3-2
5-4 or 3-2, 3-2.
Well, I mean, they
Yeah,
Foden had to score in stoppage time to end up getting all 3 points. So
right.
they've been solid. So, and also they're just a team of like giants. They have a lot of big guys in that team. I think to their advantage. You could see the physicality on the pitch for sure. Look, again, we've already stated this before. We don't have many attacking options. We have Frimpong playing Ekitike. That's kind of like our front three-ish with Sabazai playing behind them. I thought this was his best game. I thought he looked really good. I thought he was the one that kind of took the impetus in terms of like attacking the other defenders, putting crosses in the box. The only problem is that Ekitike was just not in the box, and when he essentially headed the ball in the opposite direction when he should have scored. So it was a very frustrating game. It was a very frustrating game in that sense. A lot of side-to-side passing, and it just looked like everyone stayed up until like 2 a.m. and then realized that they had a game to play today, and they just didn't show up.
Yeah, I had a hard time. Admittedly, I had a big New Year's, and I had to get myself up for this game, and it felt like the same thing was true for 11 players from Liverpool. It was bad from the off. It was just, especially from Wirtz. That was what was really disappointing for me. He seemed like he was finally coming to the boil, and then he just, I guess they turned the heat off today.
Well, the thing that's I mean, obviously it's everyone knows what a good player he is. So when he does get the ball, he'll get covered by like 2 or 3 players, which means like if he doesn't find a pass, he will lose the ball. And he lost the ball so many times this game. It was very frustrating, like you said, to watch. Because he would do one good, he would dribble past one player, but then there's another one right in front of him, and then he'll just concede the ball to them, and it'll break down, and then basically we'll have to defend a counterattack. And he just did that a few times. And it was like stuff like that, or there was like little flicks, back heels that went to nobody. And it just felt lazy.
Felt lazy and completely disjointed. It's back to this idea that the players don't know where their teammates are going to be. And that ultimately comes back to like slot system. Why don't the players know what's happening? I mean, I guess that we've sort of changed systems recently, which has led to these 3 wins on the bounce until today. But like we've been saying, it's not been convincing. And today it really wasn't convincing, so much so that we drew with Leeds at home. Leeds have now caused us to drop 4 points. You got to win your home games against promoted sides. It's simple.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've said this about the Wolves game. It's at home. Like, and when I was watching the game too, it was so quiet. Like, obviously the team has to give the crowd something to kind of cheer about, but you could hear a pin drop. It was, and I think it's just mainly because, James, there was so much side to side passing. There was nothing penetrating from Liverpool. It was side to side to the wings, back to the goalkeeper. And like, credit to Leeds, they had a really good shape. They defended really well.
A back 3.
Mm-hmm. Which we have a very hard time breaking down, and you could see it once again. It's essentially our kryptonite for the season. It's like a back 3 and then guys that are taller than 6 foot. But a few chances. So the two chances that I think we definitely should have scored was the Ekitike header from Frimpong, who blazes past again 2 players, puts a cross in, and then Ekitike basically goes off his head, but like in the away from the goal. It was very strange. It was the net was open for him to score. It was there. It was wide open, and he puts it away for, I don't know how that's even possible.
Right. I wasn't even going to be a corner. It was going to be
It wasn't a chance at that point.
A goal kick. It was
It
going to
was
be
a negative goal difference or expected goal.
Right. It was away from goal. That's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, like you're saying, Frimpong is the only one who seems to believe that getting behind the defense is the way to unlock it, which I just truly don't understand. Also, Robertson starts. Kirkes has been playing relatively well. I was a little bit surprised by that. I guess it is sort of again, third game in 17 days. It's flabbergasting.
Right.
Just how unfit the players are.
I will say though that I thought Robertson looked good. Again, our defense looked pretty solid. I would say that like there's a few opportunities. Obviously, Dominic Calvert-Lewin ends up scoring, but he was offside. But other than that, I think we looked pretty solid. I thought Konate had a pretty good game.
Well, they had a little run of like 3 corners back to back, or like a free kick and then 3 corners.
Right.
And it wasn't really that threatening. So
no.
maybe what would you say his name was? Aaron Briggs? Scott Briggs?
Aaron Briggs, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that was the issue.
I think they threw him in the brig. Thank you.
Ahoy.
But I thought Robertson looked good. Again, and it's one of these things too where I think we talked about this, I think in the Brighton game, where Ekitike likes to be part of the build-up, so sometimes he won't be in the box for that like final attacking push. And there was a few chances, especially a few crosses from Robertson, which were really good. Where just like no one was there attacking it.
Yep.
And it's just one of those things where it's like if you have an Isak who's like literally predatorial in the box, he will take those chances. He's now out. Ekitike, who likes to be part of the build-up, likes to engage the back line, but won't necessarily always be in that final third ready to finish off the chance. And then you're just basically back to nowhere where you'll have someone like a Frimpong go to push past 2 defenders, no one to cross to, so he has to cut it inside, and then we're basically like going back to square one. There was no the ideas were not there today.
Yeah. I mean, we just never looked like scoring. I actually pulled up, speaking of FOTMob, I pulled it up after the game and was shocked to see that the XG, we had like 1.96, I think it was. I can't remember. Well, just the Ekitike chance.
And then the Van Dijk header that should have gone in. It was just wide. Yeah. That should have been a goal too, which was just, unfortunate.
And that was off a corner. We could have started to rectify that negative 10 goal difference. Yep. Yeah, the Van Dijk, I'm not sure how headers are scored ultimately, like on the XG chart. I guess XG, really, who cares? Like how
they calculate it, you mean?
Right. I just think that headers are kind of hard. The Ekitike
and
chance,
it hurts too,
It does hurt. I don't really
it
understand.
Would be funny if like every time you saw someone hit the ball, they would like rub their forehead or something.
There's just like a Adidas logo in their forehead. Adidas makes the ball, right?
I think it's Puma.
I think it's Nike. Oh, is it Puma?
I think it's Puma this year.
I just remember those T90s from 2006. Beautiful balls.
Good balls.
Beautiful balls.
Great, beautiful balls. Love those balls.
Look, we're joking around about balls because this game was horrible to watch. It was balls itself. Yep. And where do we go from here? Like, what's next? I know that Fulham away is next on Sunday, I believe.
It is Fulham away. I for some reason thought it was Arsenal, which I was very, very scared of. Also, I'm afraid of Fulham. I think Fulham are very good.
Well, that's where I was coming to. That there's nothing today that gives me any confidence that we can do anything but lose on Sunday.
No, absolutely not. I don't know. Like in terms of injuries, I don't know. I think it'll be like the same players available for this game that were available for today.
Right, Gakpo will probably be closer to. Gakpo actually probably starts. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah,
he played half an hour today. I was shocked that Ekitike played the full 90. Wirtz comes off on like the 63rd.
I don't understand the Florian Wirtz substitution. I think he could have just stayed on too. I think you just have a player like
he was horrible.
Yeah, that's true. But then also he can just be a game changer. I don't know. For McAllister, who he got subbed for McAllister, who I would argue is not having a very good season either. So it's kind of like but maybe just like leave him on for 90 so he can play a goddamn 90 minutes at least, or like, I don't know. But so we're in fourth, James.
We're in
So
fourth.
we were texting about this. Chelsea are in full-blown capitulation mode. They just fired their manager. They have...
Wait, Maresca?
Maresca's gone.
That I did not... Hey, news to me. That's shocking.
That's the scuttlebutt on the internet. I'm pretty sure they are departing.
Well, they just drew, 2-2 with Bournemouth, I think?
Yeah, exactly. From a winning position, I believe.
Yep.
Or no, that's not true. But anyway, yeah, so they drew to Bournemouth. They lost to Aston Villa from a winning position. 2 late goals. And yeah, their last win was against Everton in December 13th. So yeah, not a great run from them. So they lose. So we're now 3 points above. So we kind of have a 3-point stranglehold on fourth, which is good. So that point did help us out in the end.
We made up a point on Villa. We're only 6 points behind third place.
6 points behind. Yeah.
They got spanked by Arsenal. That was depressing to watch. Arsenal looked pretty good. Well, to be fair, real quick on Arsenal,
they should have gotten a red card.
They should have gotten a red card, yes, but there wasn't a foul, but it was ridiculous what Emi Martinez does for their first goal. I don't know if you've seen.
I know.
On the back of a corner, of course, they score from a set piece.
Right.
But
even what Gabriel does to the goalkeeper.
I don't think that he does any. What I'm saying is, it's not a foul. Martinez is just he's soft. He's a soft man.
Yeah. That was a disappointing result. But we'll see. It would be nice to play. Kind of be the wild card in this title race, because we're no longer in it. We are not. We haven't been in it for a while. Despite this kind of nice run that we've been on, it would be nice to play a little mischievous part in all of this. I would enjoy that. But fourth place, from where were we like a few weeks ago? I don't remember. It wasn't fourth, that's for sure.
No, but I think that we were as low as ninth at a certain point.
I think it just sums up that we are a champion. Like we're a fourth. We're a top 4 team this season. That's like we're that inconsistent, where that inconsistency only gets you maybe even third. Who knows, depending on how Aston Villa fare the rest of the season. But we play Fulham next. The transfer window just opened.
It slammed open this morning.
So there was a lot of talk about Semenyo. Now there's talk that he might go to City. Who knows about that? Obviously, we need another central defender. Gahey has been on everyone's minds these past months. I don't know. Do you think we're going to buy any? I mean, we kind of have to. It'd be negligent if we didn't at this point.
I think that we, like you're saying, we must sign a defender. I mean, we've got Leone. He did his ACL. He's out for the year. We've got Joe Gomez. I don't know actually if he's back in training or not, but obviously we know from the decade he's been at the club that he just can't be relied on.
I mean, they say early January for his return from a hamstring. So we'll see what that says. And that's now. Today is early January.
It's the earliest.
Yeah.
We're one injury to Konate or Van Dijk away from like a full-blown crisis. I don't even know who's going to play. Who's going to play against We have Barnsley, I think, is the FA Cup fixture. The center backs are going to be Lucky, that Welity Lucky that we just spoke about, who I had never heard of until a week ago, and Endo.
I don't remember. I think it's either Lucky or I think he's like the first player to like get for 2 red cards on his like last 2 starts or something like that. Right. I think that's him.
Okay, yeah. He's played like 15 minutes of first team football, 2 red cards.
Yeah, look, yeah. I kind of forgot about the Champions League this season just because it's been so long since the Inter game. But it would be nice to have a good run in the FA Cup because I like that competition. But I think that's like definitely on the very bottom of the rung in terms of priorities.
Well, sure.
But yeah, Barnsley, I think they're just going to be like, who's fit, you're playing, essentially. But yeah, it could even be like a Gravenberch Endo or a Robertson.
I think that he's going to want to rest Gravenberch. Yeah, Robertson actually played center back already.
Yeah.
Then I don't know who plays left back. Point being, we have to sign a center back. And, I don't think we're going to sign a midfielder. I don't think we're going to sign an attacker. I think it's going to be a disappointing January, ultimately.
Yeah, I think that is a bummer to hear. Barnsley are 16th in, I think, League One. So, they're a team that we should be able to beat, but we'll see what happens.
Well, didn't we lose to Plymouth Argyle last season?
There you go.
I think they were in League One.
There you go.
So what I think is going to happen, I do think we're going to get Harvey Elliott back, and I'll be happy about it. I'll
That's an
rejoice.
improvement.
Yeah,
That's truly an improvement. And he has something to prove. Like he wants to play, he wants to play for the World Cup spot. He's not going to go, but
no.
he wants to at least claim a stake somehow.
Well, the thing is, he wasn't getting minutes last season. Slot kind of doesn't like him for whatever reason. But with Wirtz coming in, there's a much more natural just role in the team for him.
Right.
I think that he can play the Wirtz role just fine. Or if anything, that's sort of his game.
I mean, he's a good sub option for
Right.
Florian, if that too.
Well, right. That's exactly what I'm saying. If on the 60th minute today, Wirtz comes off and Harvey Elliott comes on, I'm much happier than what ultimately happened, which is McAllister.
Also, we have so much proof of Harvey being able to influence games as a substitute as well.
Yeah.
So like that, I think that would be good if Slot plays him. Like if he thinks he could be an option. And then who knows when Salah gets back, because I think they're good enough to go into the next round for AFCON. So we'll be missing him for probably the rest of January, which is a bummer. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely defender. I just don't know who. It's like been kind of radio silence except for Gahey, know. And now Crystal Palace are looking a little not worse for wear
shaky.
too.
Yeah,
a little shaky. So
they drew today. They drew this morning with.
They did.
Well, somebody it was
Fulham.
1-1.
Fulham.
Yeah,
there you go.
I don't think Gahey's coming in January. Sadly, there's another sort of wrinkle in this situation, which is I don't think we can sign a non-homegrown player.
That's right.
So Gahey fits that. He's English. They don't have to be English. They just have to have played in an academy in England, I think is how it works. So like Semenyo, for example, Ghanaian, but he counts as a homegrown player because he
started off with
came through the
Bristol
ranks.
City or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to sign Semenyo. We desperately need, again, pace. But no, I think that they're going to come up with, well, maybe they're going to sell somebody. Maybe Chiesa leaves and
I think
open that
you
slot
need to get
up.
rid of. Yeah, definitely Chiesa. I mean, Chiesa is the only person who I think we have any interest in disposing of.
Yep.
Yeah. Other than that, it's sad. The Enfield Wrap came. Did you see that shirt they came out with of Chiesa on a little Vespa scooter?
I haven't seen it.
It's very cool, and I would like him. I wish he was good enough to purchase that, but anyway, it'd be cool to get an attacking option. I agree with you. I think it's probably just going to be a defender, and probably not even a. If we don't get Gahey, I think your options are going to be pretty low, and you're not really looking at. You're basically looking at a backup option, not someone who can push out Konate or Van Dijk for that matter to get a starting role. It's basically someone who's going to be playing the FA Cup games, I think.
Right. And I mean, until, somebody gets hurt.
Right.
That was
exactly.
Well, so look, I mean, we talked about the injuries, right? Gomez and Leone, they're out. But Konate's got 6 months left on his deal. I mean, we need a center back to come in now because Van Dijk is 34 and Konate's got 6 months left. I really don't expect him to resign.
I don't know. At this point, I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if he did, just given his form too. Like, I think Real Madrid have drastically cooled off on him, just given how he's been this season.
Right.
So I think he might not have he just might not have a choice but to resign. And honestly, he's in a pretty good position, playing for the champions of last year.
The best club in England.
Right. I mean, he has a gold patch on his jersey, for God's sakes. But we'll see. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he signed. I haven't heard anything about the extension talks at all for him.
I haven't either.
So I don't know what's going to happen there. But yeah, I'm kind of excited about January. We definitely should do a January pod about the transfer window, just when more
a special treat
opens up. A little special treat would be nice. But yeah, I mean, not a good way to start off the year, James. Truly, like the most, like, it wasn't exciting. That was that was the biggest bummer. And as we've stated up top, we're a West Coast based podcast. I know we don't have it as bad as other countries in the world in terms of time difference for these games, but it's not really nice waking up at 9:30 to the cold rain to watch the like a horrible game.
Right. The
You
only thing
know,
worse than the weather is the football.
right? But and there's really, I don't really want to end this pod on a
On such a
dour
downer.
note. Yeah, but there hasn't really been anything to be hopeful about, especially with the winning streak.
Well, what is it?
Because
We're 7 unbeaten, right?
right,
Including the Inter game. That's hopeful. I hope that we go 8 unbeaten on
that would be
Sunday.
cool.
Well, look, if the title's none of our business. I held out that despite the performances, if we won 5 straight, which would have been beating Leeds today and Fulham
Yeah.
away, and then miraculously beat Arsenal, then we would have been in the title race. And obviously that hasn't happened. I think we'll probably get spanked by Arsenal.
I do
And
too.
we kind of deserve it. But I guess the takeaway is 7 unbeaten, like what else can you say?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
a sour
again,
note to start the year.
it's just funny how like you go on a losing run and everyone's mad, and then you go on a winning run with bad performances and everyone's mad. So maybe I don't at this point maybe lose some games but play really well. Maybe that's what we haven't seen yet.
Have we played well? Have we played well this year? I guess
Yeah, I thought the
Everton.
Arsenal game we played really well. The Inter game we played really well. I think in Europe we've looked a lot better.
Yeah, I
And
guess
we've
the
talked
Inter
about
game.
that.
Madrid was good.
Madrid. We've talked about how much better we look in Europe because I think we're just better suited.
Slots European.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, like even the Brighton game was just like, it was fine. But
I mean,
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I think we're good enough for a European play, for a top 4 place, and depending on how, I don't know if it's how this year goes, but 5th place might even be considered a Champions League spot.
Yeah, it was last year.
There you go. So we'll see. But James, I hope you had a good New Year. I'm sorry it started off this way. It's out of my control, but I feel a sense of agency doing this podcast with you. But what do you want to see in the new year for this team?
Better posture, I think, is a big thing. That's at least something for myself. I'm trying to work out the slouch. I would like to see. I mean, it's tough because there's so many things that I really want to see from this team. We're 19 games in. We're exactly halfway through the season. I'm calling the set piece goal difference 0 again, and I want to be positive for the next 19 games. That's my biggest. That's my New Year's resolution, which is score more than you can see from set pieces starting now.
That's good. I like that. I didn't ask this before. What do you think of Slot right now? How are you feeling about him?
Big question. Really big question.
Yeah.
I think you talked about how everyone was mad during the losing streak, of course. And everyone seems to be mad during the winning streak, which is now over. These past few performances, not including Leeds, before today, I think, been almost more damning of Slot's football than the losses have been.
I think so too.
Like even at its best, like the heights of Slot ball, it's just not fun. I like a high press. I like a lot of energy. Of course, I like seeing goals go in.
Who doesn't?
And I don't think that we'll ever get really exciting football from Slot.
We did last year, really.
Right. And winning helps, which we're not doing.
Right. I think what the difference, I think what this run, this like kind of unbeaten run compared to the beaten run was that those games, they were like due to errors. Like you can blame Connaught, you can just blame players for those errors. And you can be like, well, Slot can't control that. But with this, he can control, to an extent, like the pace of play, like where he wants his players to be. Kind of like when when we have the ball, do we want to attack or do we want to retract and like just keep it within ourselves? So I think those are the things he has within his control, like the substitutions. And yeah, like you said, it feels like a little bit more damning. I think a lot more people are just like, this is not good enough for, a team of our caliber. So we'll see. I'm like kind of on the edge of like kind of over this,
You're teetering.
but I'm a little teetering. There's no, but in the same breath, who do you hire? There's not really many options. So it's
Right.
like
I
you
don't
kind
think
of,
like Iraola, for example, would be a good decision.
I don't think so either. I just don't think you can get another. Well, I mean, I guess Slot was somewhat unproven, but they liked the metrics of him, and the Xabi Alonso stuff I don't think is going to happen. So I think we are going to just finish the season with him, and then we'll see where we end up. But yeah, I'm like a little exhausted about all this. Just watching the team, honestly.
It is exhausting. Watching the team just pass back and forth is exhausting. There's really just nothing to get behind in terms of what's going to come in the future. And that's crazy to say because, like we've said previously, we spent $500 million this summer.
Yeah,
The team should be better.
It's like that, and then the Jota stuff too. You think there would be kind of like a more like cohesive, like we're all in this together. But it kind of seems like that has waned greatly.
Yeah.
I said I didn't want to end this on a dour note, but here we are. James, here's to 2026 in red. I think
Look, it can only go up from here.
It can only go up from here, exactly. And to that, what better way to end this podcast than what we all want?
Go on.
Peace.